After months of waiting, Six Flags Great Adventure has just announced its brand new for 2027 launched roller coaster. And in today's video, I will be breaking down every aspect of the ride, like the name and the layout of this roller coaster. But before we get into today's video, please don't forget to subscribe so I can hit my goal of 1,000 followers by the end of the year. Six Flags Great Adventure has had a rough past couple of years, with tons of ride closures, but the most notable one being the closure of Kingda Ka. Kingda Ka was unfortunately imploded and was completely removed, but unfortunately the park hadn't said a word to anybody. But with all the backlash Six Flags was getting, they decided to release a list of rides with a $1 billion investment throughout the chain, and the funny thing about it is all these rides were set to open in 2026. Unfortunately, only a couple of these coasters ended up opening, which was Tormenta at Six Flags Over Texas and Speedway Stunt Coaster at Six Flags Mexico. The remainder of these additions would end up facing delays to 2027, for instance Rip Roaring Falls at Carowinds and the Kids area coming to Great America. And on this list, Six Flags Great Adventure was also listed, and they were set to open a record-breaking launch coaster in 2026, but unfortunately it would be delayed till 2027 as we know of now. At the start of this year, we saw the first piece of track had arrived, and the coaster had even gone vertical, and throughout this year they had started dropping little teasers, but overall nothing major. And most recently, the ride was topped off, and I just want to give Hollywood Studios a major shout out for keeping us updated throughout the construction of this roller coaster, so if you haven't already, please go check out his channel and give it a big like and subscribe. But with all the teasers and construction there had been, some interesting names were being trademarked, like Phantom Spire and Gargantuan Vertical Vengeance, but thankfully none of them would end up coming true, and honestly the names were kinda cool, but overall I weren't a fan of any of them. But this coaster will be named Bakunawa, which is a giant serpent-like dragon from Philippine mythology known as the Moon Eater, which is where all the moons come from throughout the entire teasing campaign for this ride. One thing that I think is really unique is the name is a mouthful, just like it was for Wrath of Rakshasa, which opened at 2025 at Great America. And the last thing I really like to see about this is I love how it has a story, just like Tormenta with the Running of the Bulls that just recently opened at Six Flags Over Texas. So overall, I think the merger really helped the whole environment of these new rides and actually having a story other than just reusing names like Goliath or Mammoth. Now let's talk about the location of the ride inside of the park. Bakunawa will be right beside Kingda Ka's former plot, with the station being where the Green Lantern used to stand, besides the brand new Shoreline Pier, which just recently opened. So with it being a sea monster, it'll add a new element to the theme around the area, because Bakunawa is a sea monster. But overall, in my opinion, this is not a Ka replacement, but definitely a Kingda Ka successor, which honestly, it's not even taking up much of Ka's land, it's taking up more land in the parking lot than anything. But now with all that being said, let's talk about the actual ride experience itself. Before you get up to the station, it has been confirmed to have the double-sided lockers like what we have seen with the recently opened Tormenta Rampaging Run at Six Flags Over Texas. And overall, with the lockers, it helps the ride operators dispatch the trains a lot faster because you don't have to wait for the people to cross the train and put their loose articles up, then come back to their seats. And I honestly think that's going to help this ride a lot because it is already lower capacity than most of the rides at this park, so that little feature will help get these trains moving a lot quicker. Now, Bakunawa will be a Mock Rides Extreme Spinning Shuttle roller coaster, and this will be the third extreme spinner roller coaster in the world. But however, this will be the only one that is a shuttle roller coaster. With it being a shuttle coaster, it will have the same loading system as both of the Mr. Freeze clones at Six Flags Over Texas and Six Flags St. Louis. There will be two pieces of station track, and once your train is ready, you will slide over to line up with the main track while the other train is loading while you're going throughout the layout of the roller coaster. This was definitely a great call done by Six Flags Great Adventure because with the Flash vertical velocity, it only runs one train, and this park needs more capacity. And now, as I was explaining earlier, once you are aboard, you will either shift over to your left or right to get in place to line up with the rest of the course. And now, once you are dispatched from the station, you will hit your first of many launches. This launch will bring you up to 60 miles per hour, and this will definitely be the most forceful out of all the launches because the other launches just keep your speed going, and this one you start from nothing and go to 60. Then after this launch, you will take a slight right turn as you extend into the world's longest stall inversion, and this will also be the world's fastest inversion, and this is definitely one of the highest selling points of the ride, but not the highest because overall this is a very cool thing to look at. And in this humongous stall, you will hit the world's first upside down launch, which honestly, I have no clue what this is going to feel like, and I have to ride it to actually see how it's going to feel, because I think it'll be one of the most unique experiences ever. But however, this launch will bring you up to 80 miles per hour, which you were just going 60. This will only boost you about 20 more miles per hour. And then you will rotate out of the stall and hit your third and final launch, which this will bring you up to 100 miles per hour, which is going to be the fastest spinning roller coaster on this planet. It brings you up to 100 miles per hour just so you have enough speed to make it up the 382-foot tall spire. The spire features this really impressive looking outer bank, and with it being floorless, you can be looking down and there isn't much between you and the ground. This definitely is a really eye-catching moment of the ride, and honestly, I'm actually a little nervous to go out and ride it because it looks just so unique. But then after you reach the top, you will slowly stall out for a second, and then you will go back down the tower and do everything that you just did but in reverse. And then that'll complete your little more than a minute journey with Bakunawa. And one really unique thing about Bakunawa is it's so re-rideable because no two rides will ever be the same. With it being a mock extreme spinning coaster, you could be doing the launches facing any which way, and even at the top you could be facing up, down, left, or right. It is just so different each ride. And for all I know, while you could be going under the launch, you could be spinning like crazy. So no two rides will ever be the same, and I think that is such a smart aspect of this roller coaster to keep people re-riding. I think this is such a unique roller coaster and an amazing addition to this park that it's needed a lot of love. And with this addition, there's a really high chance you will be seeing me in New Jersey next year to check it out because this just looks so cool, and it also is kind of sharing some aspects like Tormenta because its opening year it breaks 6 world records being over 300 feet. Which honestly I think that is so cool that Six Flags is doing that back to back now. And honestly, after the past couple of years, this is a start for the new era of this park, and I'm so excited to see what is next. But honestly, if you have made it this far, please like the video to help us beat the YouTube algorithm, and thank you so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day, and bye.